Mm. Hmm. 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 Do. Maybe like 45, 47. Man. Ah. I ain't mean to do that. I did not mean to do that. All right. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? It's funny because I watched that thing last night. Well, if y'all were students, y'all watched it with me last night. So what I'm gonna do is, because I just got to the gym, of course. So I figured, I'm gonna treat this like I was at like a therapy session. Like we got this thing at the gym. You see this chair? It's called zero gravity. You know. So I figured if I was gonna sit here and tell this story or give my thoughts, I'd give my thoughts why being at zero gravity and give me some work done. Give me some work going there. Oh yeah. Let me hit that one. Oh yeah, that's the one I want. That's the one I want. So this chair right here that I'm sitting in. This is a massage chair 5,000 jack. This thing right here. Right now I'm doing what's called zero gravity. It's called zero gravity. Okay. Oh my god, that feels so good. Oh wow. But anyway, so the reason why we're here. All right. First of all, I ain't trying. What going on, brother? What it do? What it do? What it do? Who else in this thing? Who else in this thing? Manio, what going on, brother? What going on? What it do? DD Wilmer Hoffman, Kenneth, the Aaron Brown. The Aaron Brown, I already played it. It's on Patreon right now. I played it last night on Patreon. I already showed it. Alexis, what's going on? Oh, listen here. Look here. This upside down? Oh my goodness. Yeah, Thomas left, so we're gonna talk to Montgomery today. Actually, Randall, what's going on? Jay Jordan, Zach, what it do? Chokey Stick, M Butler, what it do? If you a student at Patreon, the whole thing is up. It's literally up in your class course. If you just go to Patreon and look on what's the name, it's right there. Just click it. You watch the whole thing. You ain't got to sign in Netflix, none of that. It's right there. Go tune in, Aaron. All right, so let's talk about this. Okay, let me get into my. I told y'all I feel like I'm at the therapist because I had to live through that, people. I had to live through it. So watching it last night was it was different for me, because first let me tell y'all the stories, okay? My first USA appearance was in 2002. All right, it was my first USA championship when I first qualified. All right, I was a bit nervous, because I was a kid. I was only like 21 years old, but anyway, first round in 2002. I drew Tim Montgomery in the very first round. All right. And I remember Tim won with like it was headwind or whatever. Tim ended up winning the round with like 10-3, and then I ended up running 10-5, right? And I remember I was sitting in the back, or whatever, and Tim was sitting down next to me, okay? And then he looked over at me. He was like, "You hot boy, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah." Well, hot boy because I was with Coach Hop. But he was like, "You hot boy, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah." 2002, stay with the story now. So he told me, he was like, "You know what? You're gonna be all right. You were a good person. You were a good man. That's a good dude. You're gonna be all right." For me, that meant the world because you know what I'm saying. Like Tim Montgomery, Maurice Green. I knew the battle or whatever. So later on that summer is when Tim broke the world record in 2002, right? And this is all in the documentary as well. So then it was like, damn, I just raced him in the first round and broke the world record. Okay, cool. So let's fast forward this story, people. We're gonna fast forward this story to 2003, the very next year. Okay. But the very next year, I'm back at USA's again. So this is before USA's kickoff, and we on the track. Me and Hop on the track, and I'm warming up and stuff like that. And then Tim comes over, talks to Coach Hop. Then daps me up, talks to me again. Like you ready? And I was like, I'm ready this time. And so lo and behold, the very first freaking round, I draw Tim again. This is from 2002, 2003. Very first round, I draw Tim again. Right next to him. So I say, okay, shit a little different this year, Jack. Gun go off. Hi-ya! I'm out there, bitch. Zooming. So it's me and Tim. Zooming. JD over there somewhere. We don't left JD. JD was in the same heat. He back there somewhere. Me and Tim. Yeah. So Tim ends up going 10:08. I went 10:09. Okay? This is the first round, and this is legal. This is the first round of USA National 2003. 10:08, 10:09. Don't nobody go 10-0s in the first round. I didn't know that. Okay? I'm just here as a youngster running. I don't know them. Oh shit, my life. Okay, even better. I forgot these lights is on timers. Perfect. Y'all just listen to me. I didn't know no difference. I didn't know nothing about you supposed to cruise the first round. All I knew was I'm not losing. That's it. Gun goes off. I'm out here, baby. Let's get it. 10 go 10:08. I go 10:09. JD get third with like 10-2 something. So I remember Tim was walking back in front of me, and then he was like, "Hey, young boy got me running in the first round." I didn't know we weren't supposed to do that. So by that time, Coach Hop, he gave me a little thumbs up. And then I remember I put my clothes on and all that. He was like, "That's a good first round." And I was like, "Hop, I feel good. I'm ready for whatever comes next." And then so that right after that, like everybody was just looking at me. I was like, everybody, like when I say everybody's looking at me. From Trevor Graham to John Smith. I mean, because you gotta keep in mind, Coach Hop was Coach Hop, so everybody knew Coach Hop anyway. And because Coach Hop was a Nike rep. So everybody was seeing Coach Hop and they saw me and they was like, I know he ain't on nothing because he with Coach Hop. I don't know these stories back then. So lo and behold, like I told the people last night in class, at that I bumped into Trevor Graham on the elevator, and we had a conversation, yada yada. Make a long story short, he wanted me to come out there and train with Justin and everybody else and Mary and all that. And I turned it down because I'm like, nah, Coach Hop already put it in my mind that when I get out here, if I go to running fast, folks gonna try and steal me, which is exactly what happened. So anyway, fast forward to the next morning. So Coach Hop called me in his hotel room the next morning. He say, "I want to talk to you." I say, "What's up?" He say, "Well, you got a decision to make." I say, "What's the decision?" He say, "Nike wants to give you a contract right now." I say, "What?" I said, "But I'm trying to go back to school, man. I'm trying to go back to Tech. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got another year of school. I just made the football team, everything, man. Like, take Tech. I'm the quarterback, so I'm ready to go back to school, baby." Then Hop was like, "Well, let me tell you what they're offering you." Ooh, shit, they offered me what? 150? Now, keep it in mind, y'all. No, I'm sorry. Wrong contract. That contract was $75,000. So Nike offered me $75,000 with a signing bonus. So it ended up being, well, it was $100,000 contract because they gave me $75,000, and then they gave me $10,000 signing bonus, and then they put the other 15 for gear, coaching, stuff like that. So the next day of the semis, I gotta tell y'all this. In the first round, I was running unattached. When I ran 10:09, I almost beat 10 unattached. Next morning, I had a Nike uniform on for the second round. So the second round, lo and behold, It's me and Tim again. And like, what? Again? Right next to each other. Again. So in my mind, I'm already geeked. Like, I'm not worried about none of y'all because I'm going into after the first round, Tim was number one, I was number two. So I'm already going into the semis geeked. Like, I'm the second fastest nigga here. The only person here that's ran faster than me is the world record holder. Well, that's why they gave me the money. Now, but anyway, that's the story. So we get in the second round, Tim right beside me again. This time we got a headwind. Hiya! We get out again. Think I'm here, bro. Tim goes, it was like 10, 20. Y'all gonna look at these numbers. It's so long ago, but it's still on USA Track and Field. Tim went like 10.26 into a negative. I went 10.27 into a negative. Y'all, it's the same photo that I got on this YouTube right here. It's the same photo I put up on Twitter and everywhere today that y'all can see. The same photo I got in my gym. That same photo, Coach Hop told me, he was like, his words was, they fucked you. And what he meant by that was, you won that semi. You won that semi. Everybody that was there saw it. It's like, no way got Tim the line. But anyway, lo and behold, that was another 10-0 because we ran into a headwind. All right. So by this time, everybody is like, who is that? And by that time, they put two and two together. That's the same rate for 2000 US Junior Kid. Yep, that's the same one. Oh, shit. He back again. Yep, he back again. So we get to the finals, and y'all can watch the race. Tim completely messes up. And it was funny because they split us up in the finals. They put, I was in lane, this is when the Nike stuff started happening. But anyway, I was in dead smack middle of the track. Jack, you don't believe it, go look at it. I was in lane 5. Tim was over there at like 7. And then JD was in like 8. That's how JD made it because Tim pulled him along. Bernard was in 1. Bernard ended up winning the whole damn thing that year too. He was in out of lane 1. So anyway, I ended up finishing 6th in that in the finals. But if you go watch it, I faded from 3rd to 6th like that. Because when Bernard Williams broke the tape from lane 1, keeping in mind I've never ran through tape done like that. The tape flapped back to me and I put my hand out to stop the tape. And as soon as I did that, boom, 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 boom. JD, everybody went right past it. I went from 3rd to 6th. So I went tripping. I was like, shit, all right, well, whatever. So then, I'm going to fast forward to summer. Summertime hits 03. So I do a little bit of training, a little bit of traveling, or whatever. Run a couple of track meets, Rome, Zagreb, whatever. But I shut the season down. I come back. So then when I get back, Hop was like, I want to talk to you. And I'm like, all right, shit, what's up? I'm going to give y'all the straight rundown and I'll give y'all the whole story. Hop was like, Tim dirty. And I'm like, I'm still naive at this point in time. I'm like, what you mean? What you mean dirty? Tim dirty. They looking at you because they see you running a druggie to the line. What? Yeah. That's why Nike gave y'all the money. Because you was racing a druggie to the line. At that point in time, I still don't know much about PEDs and drugs. So I'm just like, yeah, that's how gangster I am. What you mean? Like, you won't have to take something to beat me. that was the worst, best way to start thinking. That haunted me the rest of my career. Because for the rest of my career, that was my thinking. You're going to have to take something to beat me. And if you go look at my career, most of the people that beat me, they took something. Just put it out there, outside of the same boat. But if you go look at it, look at my career, I might have got a lot of ace. I might have got a lot of 7s. I might have got a lot of 6s. But the people that was in front of me, a lot of them ended up, we ain't got to do it. We can go down the list. Wayne Chambers, Justin Gatlin. We got a list. Most of the people that beat me was dirty. But anyway, so back to the Untold thing I watched last night. So I'm watching it and I'm like, not like in shock, but kind of, it's weird to explain y'all how I'm looking at it, because it's like, I knew the shit was going on. We all knew, because it eventually came out when he got busted or whatever. Man, I remember in 2004 being in Athens with Marion Jones, and I was just so excited, so crunk, because Marion was like my idol. And like, here I am at relay camp with Marion Jones. But anyway, so I'm watching this stuff last night, and what hit me was the reality of our sport. Meaning, Tim said something that stuck with me on that show last night. He said, I even told Victor, I don't care if I die. Well, Ray don't Lord track that damn much. I don't want nothing that I gotta say that type of shit for. No, Jack, I'll stay back here to the old thing. Tim has said, I don't even care if I die, I want that world record. Now here's what I did not know until last night watching it. I did not know that I did not know that Victor Conte was nowhere close to a doctor. Not even remotely. When I say not even remotely close to a doctor, this ninja was not even remotely. Ninja wasn't even a damn personal trainer. Ninja didn't know nothing about nothing. He was a bass player, a freaking bass player. I said, what? So then they started telling a story about him, and he was like, Victor Conte came out and was like, yeah, I just went to the library. You hold on. Say what, bro? Yeah, I went to the library and I just started researching. he said I started researching on what does what for the body and what crosses what, and if I take zinc and I add it with this, and if I do this with it, I do that with it. And then he just sitting here like, I just went and started studying. So let me get this straight. So again, Tim had no clue. He had no clue. And he says in the thing, he had no clue. He later found out that he wasn't a doctor. Now, here's the part where I blame Tim at. I blame Tim for that. How you gonna be injecting yourself and taking something from somebody that was turned on to you, but you ain't did the research to see if this person is even a doctor, and you're going to put stuff in your body from this person? That was a mistake. But of course, Tim also said it later. He was like, shit, I was done with that. I should never did that shit. So Victor Conte was never even a doctor. Victor Conte was see, in the movie they called him a con artist, but I don't call him a con artist. I don't call him a con artist at all, because he was a genius. And what I mean by genius was he figured out a way to create something out of nothing and change the world with it. You can call him a mad genius. You can do that all day long, but that's what he did. The dude single-handedly played God. And what I mean by played God was he single-handedly controlled the course of history. Meaning, had it not came out, Tim Montgomery, well, it's broken now, but at that particular point in time, what Tim did and Marion did, everybody did, this dude was playing God. He was literally creating the future single-handedly. He was saying, you're going to do this, and you're going to do this, and you're going to do that. But not thinking about what you're doing to the entire world, sir. The entire world. You're about to manipulate all of mankind. They didn't take it that far. See, like I always tell people, I tell you layers and layers and layers. You are about to manipulate all of mankind from now to time to come. Because that record that you're about to put out there, that world record, you're about to create it. It ain't being given. It ain't God given. You finna go create that. So you're about to create a false imagination in the minds of human beings across the globe. That's damn near psychotic. And if you really think about it, to the extent of how I'm explaining it, you finna go control the minds of every little kid that run track. You finna go control the minds of every freaking high schooler that run track, college person. You finna go control the minds of everybody sitting at home. You finna go manipulate the entire world by creating a world record. You're about to go manipulate the entire world by helping somebody get 5 medals. That shit there is like, that's on a, I mean, I'm gonna say it the way I explain myself, but to me, that sounds like that sounds like a Hitler level. Like literally, like what you about to do is you about to do some shit that's gonna literally control the entire world. That is astronomically amazing in itself. Of course, he broke down in the movie last night, cried and explained that he came to that same, that same realization when people was getting popped and kids had to be like, Dad, you was taking drugs, yada yada. So but having lived through it and then having watched it, it puts me in the mind frame of where we're at even today. Meaning, I hate to say it, but Ism, however you say his name, Ism, just had his little run in. Okay. Ism beat Noah Lyles, net ran 9.8, became the fastest high schooler in history. Okay. It's the same thing. Whoever gave him that is no different than Victor Conte. Period, point blank. And the reason why I say that is because what you just did was you just manipulated the entire world. And you manipulated the world for years to come. Because if Isom don't get popped, he keeps that record for years to come. So you have controlled the course of mankind going forward. You single-handedly control that. Stay with me. Stay with me now. Stay with me now. I want y'all to understand this, okay? So then in the documentary, it talks about the cream and the clear, how it worked, which was amazing because when I was running in 2004, that was the terminology that was being said at the hotels. Being said in the little circles that they was taking the cream and the clear. This is before they even got popped. It was being said they were taking the cream and the clear. Okay. So when Victor Conte broke it down to me last night, I was like, I remember that shit. That's exactly what it was. There was a Nike physio that worked with Trevor Graham's camp only. I cannot think of his name, but there was a physio. He lost everything. He lost everything because he had to take the rap for the cream and the clear because he was massaging everybody, Trevor's whole camp, with the cream and the clear. Okay? So then it made sense to me when I was watching them folks in 2004 and 5, and I'm sitting here like, man, these really ain't even warming up. They sitting on the table. Get up. They do a couple strides. They gonna sit back down. They get stretched, get worked on. Oh, how y'all take that 9-8? How, Sway? That's what I'm saying then. And then they started talking about the cream and the clear. I'm like, okay, here's where my mind was messed up at, people. But it was a good messed up because when I found out that I was racing Tim and Tim was dirty, in my mind, I felt like I was the chosen one. I said, well, that must mean God chose me to come out here and show y'all people that you don't need PEDs to do this shit. I said that was my calling. Okay, when I found out Justin them, good, bring it. I'm here. Wasn't able to do it, but I was there. I was like, ooh, if you went on that shit, I'd have got you. Like, woo. So my whole career, that was my whole thing. I was like, I'm not gonna take nothing because Tim messed up my mind and thinking that I could outrun drugs. So my whole career, that's all I said. I was like, y'all take whatever y'all want to take. I'm gonna outrun that shit. And some of them I did outrun, some of them I didn't. But most of every last one of them, I made them run to the line with that shit they had in their system. But anyway, so I'm watching it last night, like I said, and Tim struck me with something to make you think about it, and I'm going to give it to y'all because I don't think track athletes, coaches, agents, shoe companies understand our own karma that we create. And what I mean by our own karma that we create is the fact that we are out here playing God. And we can't realize or understand why track and field can't get any type of anything. We complain about being at the bottom of this, we complain about being at the bottom of that, we complain that we don't get no money, we complain that the athletes are living under poverty, we complain that we complain about everything in the sport. But then we don't step outside of ourselves and say, well, it's a good possibility that y'all sport ain't gonna catch no blessings because y'all are really playing God. It's one thing if you in the NFL or NBA or something like that and an athlete taking something. Well, that's just that athlete. It's still a team sport. So it ain't gonna help. It can't change the course of history if somebody on the Utah Jazz is taking drugs. It can't change the course of history. Either you're gonna win or you're not. It can't change the course of history if Tom Brady is taking something. That's just only gonna help Tom Brady. It ain't gonna help the whole damn football. It ain't gonna do that. It ain't gonna do it. It's not going to change the course of history. What we do in our sport is we play God. Literally. In every aspect of it, we play God. Meaning, think about everybody who had a record and it was taken back. Think about everybody who got popped. Think about everybody that's under suspicion. Think about how the shit ends up, how we have so much mental stress and mental depression in our sport. Think about how much misery is in our sport. And then think about what we're doing in our sport. After watching that shit last night, I got it. I was like, oh, we playing God. And that's why so much shit happens in our sport. Because what the athlete don't realize is you're being used to change the course of the future. Literally. It's all a game to them. The shoe companies don't care because they just want the sign to go across it. I don't think any of the doctors understand that when you're doing this, you're literally playing God. And I don't care what God you believe in, what God you pray to, all of them got the same belief system, okay? Karma, right, wrong. You can't be in a sport to where you do 90% wrong to people, 90% dirty, and also play God and think that anything good is going to happen to this sport. It ain't going to happen. It can't happen. It literally can't. And I don't think that we look at it in that depth or that detail of what we are doing. Because track and field is this little bubble. I say it all the time. Track and field is such a closed bubble to where nobody in track and field can actually think outside of track and field and think about the outside world. Track and field is a very selfish sport. You can only think about yourself. Most athletes. You only think about yourself. So there's nowhere in your mind can you actually fathom what you're about to do to the world. All you can see is, I want these medals. I want this record. I want this track and field fame. I want this track and field new contract. But you can't see that, you know what you just did when you took that? You damn near, like Tim said last night, you sold your soul. You really did that. You sold your soul to the devil. Ain't no getting around it, because what you're doing is you're taking something of man, not of God, of man, and you're trying to reap the benefits of it from man. Then so guess what you're doing? All right, that ain't what you want to do, pimp it. So even today, right now today, we have athletes. We have athletes who just left Budapest. I don't give a damn. We have athletes who have ran, gotten medals, dropped times, tainted. Same thing like Tim. They just ain't got caught. And we're going to talk about how the get caught part. We got athletes just coming from Budapest right now, dripped up, draped down. But you got it from somebody playing God. You didn't do that. You didn't work that. The whole world is looking at certain individuals and certain stuff like, man. Oh, shit. What did Tim say? Uh-oh. Interesting. Think about it. But anyway, so here's the scary part. Here is the scary part. As they explain in the documentary, Trevor Graham was the reason for the fall apart. Because yes, there was a little detective guy who was doing all the investigation, this and that, but there's nothing you can really do to a track athlete just for going to visit somebody. You can't do that because track athlete, man, I'm just going to the doctor. And I knew this is what happened when I was running, but it was just wild to see it put out there for the public. Trevor Graham sent a syringe to USADA and said, this is what they take. Okay. Now, why did Trevor Graham do that? Trevor Graham did that because Tim and Marion left him. He left the camp. Now, watch this right here. At that point in time, Marion was making, what was it, like $3 million a year. Okay, it was everywhere. I mean, Trevor getting a cut of that. Tim had just broke the world record. Guess what? He getting a cut of that. So Tim and Marion decided to leave. Okay, well, if you're going to leave, I'm going to lose my money and all that. Okay, I'll tell y'all what. He sent a syringe to USADA. Here's what they was taking. So USADA was able to test it, and then they was able to reverse engineer it, and then go back and retest the P. Gotcha. If Trevor had never sent a syringe, they never got caught. Now, that's the scary part. I'm saying it again. If Trevor had never sent a syringe, they never got caught. Say it again. If Trevor had never sent a syringe, they would never got caught. Because the testing is so far behind. Okay? So, we fast forward to where we're at now in track and field. You got to ask yourself the question of, okay, so if Tim felt that way, if Tim felt like I want the world, I gotta, yada, yada, yada. And now let me make sure I put this disclaimer out there. Nowhere am I saying anybody that broke a world record dirty. I'm not saying that. The ones that came out later that they were 30, they came out later they were 30, but I'm not saying that at all. I'm just giving y'all what I saw last night, okay? So if Tim felt that way, and so many other athletes felt that way, from Ben Johnson all the way up, you think it's changed now? That's a question to y'all. Do you think it's changed now to where athletes aren't thinking the same thing Tim was saying he thought last night? You think it's changed now to where athletes don't want that same desire, that athletes don't want their name next to that? You think that same picture that Tim took and what he said was on the show last night, they can take back all the medals, they can take back all the money, but they can't take back that experience. He still loves the fact that he did it, meaning he still loves the fact that his body went that 9.7 and he had that one moment, that one high. That's what drugs do to you. Drugs give you a high and you go chasing that high. He still said they can't take that away from me. That's scary. And what I mean by scary is that means you really didn't do it for the money. You did it simply because you wanted to know what it felt like to be the world record holder. That is scary. You will put your body through that. You think there's athletes out there today running that ain't thinking that same shit to where I just want to know what it feels like to be on top? That shit's still going on, which is scary. That's why I keep saying that shit is scary because, again, we say so this in track and field to where we don't pay attention to what we're doing inside our sport that is shaping the entire freaking outside world. I'm going to say it again. We so closed off in our sport to where we don't understand what we're doing to the entire outside world because they can't see in our sport. They can't. We knew Tim was doing that shit dirty. The outside world did it. To the outside world, he was world record holder, fastest man. He changed history. That's why I say it's the fastest man in history. So I want y'all to really think about what that does. You just erased everything before Everything before, since the beginning of time, you just erased that. And you just controlled everything going forward for mankind. In track and field, we're not going to see it as that big of a deal. On other levels, spiritual level, cosmetic level, karma level, it's that high to well, oh, so you God? You gonna control how this thing work? Huh. Interesting. Okay. Well, watch this. So my take on it, I enjoyed watching it. I enjoyed seeing the people that I knew was in it tell it, like out their own mouth, on the screen, tell it, like this is what was going on. This is how it really happened. And then Victor explaining how freaking easy it is to cheat. You ain't even got to be a doctor. That was the highlight of the whole damn movie for me. You weren't even a doctor. You was a bass player. All it takes is a little bit of common sense to cheat the system in track and field. All it takes is a little bit of common sense to cheat the system in track and field, which also says all it takes is a little bit of common sense to control the entire narrative of the entire course of history from before and going forward. That is some scary shit. But guess what? As I come out my zero gravity, guess what? These people don't care. When I say they don't care because they do it. So if you do it, how you gonna care? Yeah, I'm telling y'all, that movie was a little different for me last night, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I started thinking, I was listening to them. I started thinking a little deeper too. I was like, damn, these niggas really are, they really are controlling goddamn mankind, man. You really are controlling how these people thinking out here. You really got these folks out here in the entire world thinking that this is what you, damn. That's crazy. I mean, because I never thought about it to that level until I watched it last night. I was like, damn, these niggas out here playing God. That's crazy. But if you ain't watched it, watch it. Hold on. I won't in. Yeah, if you have not watched it, if you're a Patreon student, you can go watch it right now. I still got it up. It's up on Patreon. If you're not a Patreon student, it's on Netflix. You can go watch it on Netflix, but it's actually a pretty good documentary. I mean, like I say, it closed. It's hard to say because it ain't like I didn't know, but it closed that chapter in my life. For me, it was like, finally. I knew I was the fastest in them rounds. I knew I won all them rounds. Finally, them came out. The truth done came out. I win that damn. I won. He didn't win. I won. That's just me going back into the USA 2003. Like, ain't this about a bitch? And the sad part about it is because the shoe companies, they be knowing. Mm-hmm. Because the shoe companies knew, and they knew I wasn't dirty, they gave me all the damn money. Damn. That's crazy. I'm telling y'all right here, right now. I've said 100 times, 100 million times. 2003 till my last day of spiking up after Rio, and I didn't get to go. Never once did I take a PED. And I knew everybody that was taking them. Everybody. That's why I'm glad Tim's story came out. I wish everybody else would come out and get their stories. You know, Dwayne Chambers, all them folks. I wish they would come out and get their stories because I know their stories. And I know how many people I was behind that was in front because of their story. You know, so But for me, it's like I told the students last night, my lawyer, all the time, he'd be like, Ray, you should have did it. They were doing it. If you, and he'd be like, Ray, you knew they were doing it and you didn't do it? Yeah, man, I ain't doing that shit. Because for me, I didn't want to race them. I wanted to race them with that shit. Because for me, if I can beat you and you own that shit, that's a natural high for me. That's a natural high. If I can come close to beating you and you own that shit, I still feel good about myself. If I can make you have to use that shit to beat me, I feel excellent about myself now. And I'm not just saying I force people to take drugs. Make sure I put it out. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, in most of the races I've been in, just go back and look at them and then look at the names and look at the people who don't got popped for something of anything, even from minor infractions to major. And then when you see me, the only thing you're going to see is weed from 2004. So, me watching it last night, loved it. Loved it. I say loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. Loved it. And I say loved it, loved it. So, I'm turning my light back on before I get out of here with y'all. Hold on. Turn my light on so y'all can see me before I get out. Before I be done. I suppose I had somebody here. They ain't here yet. Yeah, I suppose I had 12:30. By 12:30, late. All right, y'all. Since they ain't here yet, I'm gonna sit back with y'all for a second. Y'all mind if I recline a little bit more? I'm gonna sit back with y'all for a second, take some of y'all questions and read some of y'all comments until my people get here. I'm just gonna go back to like right here though. Yeah, all right, that's good. I'll do that one more time too. Stretch one more time. All right, so what y'all got for me? What y'all got for me in these comments? Oh. Yeah, Blessing got 10 years. Yeah. She got, Blessing called 10 whole years, not half years. She called whole years. 10 of them. Done. Out of there. That's crazy. Yeah, victory is in boxing changing history. But now watch this though. I'm glad you mentioned that. Victor is changing history in boxing, but he's doing it the same way that I'm doing it. Well, I'm not changing history or nothing, but to make sure I say this. Victor is doing what we do here at my gym, which is he did the research and found out what the body needs. And when he was cheating, he was doing it well. Now here's the crazy part. Victor wasn't cheating. That's what's fucked up. It's like, if you want to get technical, he wasn't cheating. But he was cheating. He was cheating, but he wasn't cheating. Because all he was doing was crossing vitamins and shit like that. And, so it's just all about how you look at it. But he was cheating, but he wasn't cheating. But anyway, so what he figured out was how the body operates. He did his research. He figured out what your blood cells need to be at. He figured out what your testosterone levels need to be at. He figured out how your hemoglobin. He figured out how the body needed to be to function, to operate at an optimal level. He was doing it with vitamins, but now what he's doing is he figured out how to do it naturally because it's just a formula. That's the thing about it. Like I say it all the time on my show, like everything that a PED does for your body, you can do the same shit naturally. It just takes it a little longer. You got to be a little more disciplined. You might have to buy some extra equipment, but the same shit that you get in a syringe, you can get, your body can do it naturally. So what Victor figured out with boxing was how to do the same thing he was doing, but do it with naturally. You see what I'm saying? So take something as simple as red light therapy, okay? I have a red light sauna here in my gym. It's a 3-person sauna. Take something as simple as that red light sauna I got. That red light sauna can repair red blood cells. If you sit in it long enough, every day, it's gonna repair your body and repair your blood cells like you never did nothing. That's an all natural way to do the same thing that he was doing. Say you training at like this chair right here, right? This chair. When y'all saw me laying back in it, it's called zero gravity, right? So it puts your body at a certain position so that blood will leave while your lumbar is being stretched and opening up certain organs to apply proper blood flow. That ain't illegal. Watch this right here. Take something like EPO, right? What EPO does. If you just go and say you go to the cryotherapy machine, right? And you get in the cryotherapy machine every day, right? Watch this. You get in the cryotherapy machine every day. And after you get out the cryotherapy machine, you hop right into infrared light sauna. Okay? You're doing this every day. And then after you get out the infrared light sauna, you will put in, we'll say, you're putting a gallon of chlorophyll water in your system, right? And then after that, we'll say you'll put in 2 liters of watermelon water in your system, okay? Now, let's say you do that, and then after you do all that, you now get into a hyperbaric oxygen chamber. Do that shit for 10 days. All you just did was what they did with EPO in one shot, but it's just a matter of having to do it over and over and over and over again to get the effects. Now, here is, I've got this light on the timer. Here is the downside to it. There we go. Here's the downside to why it don't work for athletes. You don't have enough time after that first round to do none of that shit I just said. Like, oh yeah, you can do it naturally. So for a boxer for one fight, it's perfect. It's perfect. But guess what? I got how many rounds tomorrow? Once I go out this first round, I've already depleted everything I just did. All of the dang on infrared that Ray done gave me, all the dang on the cherry extract Ray done gave me, all the watermelon water Ray done gave me. That shit is gone now. That it went out the first round because it's natural. So now what happens is you have to be able to maintain it and monitor it, which now comes into play the real factor of why I'm not going full speed in this first round. I can't push my body to that limit because naturally this watermelon water ain't going to repair it fast enough. But if I get this shot tomorrow morning, it's going to repair it. So I need to make it look like I'm cruising through the rounds because I'm trying to save myself. Well, no, you're really trying to not get caught because you can hit every round full speed, but you cruising to stay under the radar. Y'all see the difference? Y'all see the difference? It can be done naturally, but you have to do it a certain way. You got to go 60%. You got to go 75%. You got to save your body. You ain't got to save your body when you got stuff that's going to repair it the next day. You take something like I tell all the time, stem cell therapy. It's very expensive, but guess what? You tear your hamstring on Tuesday, and I taught the students this last night in school. I'm gonna teach y'all right now. You can tear your hamstring Tuesday at practice. You can go get an MRI done. But watch this. I'm gonna give y'all the real way to do it. You can tear your hamstring on Tuesday. You can go to a doctor that has a what's the damn machine? The baby machine. Damn. Ultrasound, right? You can go to a doctor, right? That has an ultrasound machine. And what that ultrasound machine gonna do is it's gonna pinpoint and it's gonna show you exactly where that muscle is turning at, right? Showing that, right? So while that muscle is up on the screen, the doctor, the stem cell doctor, can take a needle and you can watch it. The needle you can see it on the screen. Don't ask me how I know this, but I know that I've seen it done. Damn it. You can ask me. The needle will go straight through and you can see it on the screen and the needle will stop right at the point on the screen where the hamstring is torn at. Inject the stem cell therapy. Come back in 72 hours. Get that same ultrasound. That tear is gone now. But that ain't nothing illegal. It's just stem cell. So, moral of the story is that was a damn good documentary. I definitely recommend watching it. You should, if you ain't watched it, man, go watch that shit. Watch it. Because all it's gonna do is it's gonna help you out it's gonna help give you common sense. It's like, shit, I should have known that. Yeah, you should have. That's just common sense. But yeah, my person is finally here, so I guess I'm gonna get to work. That was my take on the Untold. It's a very good movie, very good, very informative, and it literally taught how we be playing God in track and field, and we shouldn't be playing God because most of the time when you play God, God don't like when you play God. So, traditionally He takes stuff away and don't give it to you. So the next time y'all sitting there complaining about what track and field ain't got, complaining about why track and field ain't getting this, complaining about why athletes is making less than minimum wage, complaining about why it's a struggle to be in track and field, remember what Professor Ray just taught you. We are playing God. And I just don't think God like that sometimes. It's the nature of the sport, true indeed. It's the nature of the sport, and we created it to be that way, to where if you're not, they said it on the whole damn show. That's what I'm telling y'all. Don't listen to me, go watch it. The folks are literally saying, now if you don't, that used to be the thing. If you don't take it, you ain't gonna make it. That used to be the thing. I don't know what it is now, but if you don't take it, you ain't gonna make it. That was a slogan back then. So, but again, I see shit on a deeper level. I see shit on a level that most won't look at. How we gonna get any type of blessings or anything like that when we in a sport that's, need I say, I could use the word filled with not good stuff. How we gonna get any type of anything good in our sport when motherfuckers out there like, I'm God. How you God? I'm finna go make somebody break the world record. Damn, all right. I'm finna go make somebody get 4-5 medals. All right. That's playing God. I gotta get to work, people.